Greetings, everyone. This study addresses moral elevation and its impact on mental health stigma among religious and spiritual people. The study was driven by two main elements found in previous research. The first element was the impact of religiosity or spirituality on mental health stigma and how that affects the decision of religious or spiritual individuals to seek mental health treatment in times of distress. The second element was how Christians become uplifted and inspired to engage in prosocial acts after learning about the sacrifices of saints over generations. This is similar to moral elevation, which is defined as experiencing positive emotional warmth that triggers a desire to become a better person or do good to the society after witnessing a virtuous act. In our study, we wanted to examine two aspects: the relation between spirituality, religiosity, and mental health stigma, and the impact of moral elevation on mental health stigma among religious and spiritual people. We hypothesized that 1. Higher religiosity and higher spirituality would be associated with higher mental health stigma, and 2. Mental health stigma would decrease after viewing an elevating video, or a video that elicits moral elevation. To measure that, we collected data from a sample of 187 undergraduate students in a university in East Texas. Participants completed an online survey that included demographic questions, the Santa Clara Strength of Religious Faith questionnaire to measure religiosity, the Spiritual Assessment Scale to measure spirituality, and the Beliefs Toward Mental Illness Scale to measure mental health stigma. To assess the impact of moral elevation on mental health stigma, these scales were administered twice, once before and once after watching elevating videos featuring a person struggling with mental health demonstrating a virtuous act. To analyze the data, for our first hypothesis to measure the correlation between religiosity, spirituality, and mental health stigma, we used bivariate correlational analysis. And for the second hypothesis, to assess the impact of moral elevation on mental health stigma, we used paired samples t-tests to compare the scores of these scales before and after watching the elevating videos. As shown in the poster, the results indicated that the correlation between spirituality and mental health stigma was 0.01, and the correlation between religiosity and mental health stigma was 0.02. The near-zero correlations suggest that there is no association between religiosity or spirituality and mental health stigma in this sample. The results also indicated that, after watching elevating videos, the mean of mental health stigma decreased from 40.99 to 38.37, with a Cohen's d effect of negative 0.22. Findings suggest that eliciting moral elevation by watching someone overcome mental health struggles might be useful in reducing mental health stigma. In regard to future considerations, the fact that the sample in this study was comprised of only undergraduate students propels future studies that would address the same questions, but with proper consideration given to educational levels and socioeconomic status. That's because these two factors are known to impact the understanding of the importance of mental health care, and they also impact the stigma associated with mental health illness in general. This wraps up our study. Thank you for listening.